on now.
What up, fam? It's your boy, Trigger Trey. I'm getting ready to start my wrestling training. As you can see, I'm here. I don't know if you can see it right over my back there, but that's the entrance. I just got finished filling out all my paperwork. You know, the old, if you die, it's not our fault. Any injuries that you get won't be on us, paperwork. I want to take a second and kind of talk about something that's, I guess, as a church folk would say, that's been on my heart. And that's my gratitude that I have for my life. The gratitude that I have for the people that have been in my life. Talk about my mom, my sister, my grandmother, and my oldest cousin, who are all women, by the way. And how grateful I am to have them in my life. They all inspire me in different ways. I guess I'll start off with my mom. Yeah, that's a good place to start. Always start with your mom. And my mom was a single parent. I've never met my dad. He'd walk by me in the street right now, I wouldn't know who he is. So my mom was a single parent, it was me and my sister. And she sacrificed a lot to get us the things that we needed. Not necessarily the things that we wanted, but the things that we needed. And she pushed us. She pushed us really hard to be something worthwhile in society. I turned out to be a cop after spending 8 years in the military and the Air Force, the world's greatest Air Force, by the way. And my sister chased her dreams and is still chasing her dreams of being a professional dancer and a choreographer, in which she excels at in both. My mom never asked for help, never was on government assistance, and things got tough. Things got tough at times, but I always realized, and what I'm so grateful about is that while I can tell you a story, and I am going to tell you a story about having Payless shoes, I had shoes. We never had to worry about whether or not the lights were going to get cut off or where our next meal was coming from, because Mom's handled all that. She took care of all that, and that was never a worry. And while the ungrateful will say, I never had Jordans, and I never had this, I never had the latest this, and I never had the latest clothes and coats and all these other things. As I became older, I started to realize that those things are not really important. They don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. What did matter was being able to use hot water. What did matter was having soap to go along with that hot water. What did matter was having electricity to watch TV. And even though we didn't have cable, we still had TV. My mom, bootstrapped it. She got promoted and bought her own house. My mom did what was needed to be done, when it was needed to be done, and she took care of business. And she is really my biggest inspiration. I'll tell you this quick story about Payless shoes. So obviously, growing up, what I like to call broke rich, where that means you have money to pay your bills, but you ain't really got no money. You ain't got no money, but you got a little bit of money because you can pay your bills. But you don't have money for the extra things, the really, really nice things. So I didn't, have the Jordans growing up or the Nikes growing up. I had the Akeem Olajuwons, the Shaqs, whatever was in Payless or whatever, Nike was selling that was really, really, really cheap. And let me not say cheap, what was affordable for us. But this one particular story, I had a friend that I grew up with, and I tell you, we were thick as thieves. We were tight. His mom ran a daycare. His name's Lloyd. His mom ran a daycare, and we were thick as thieves. And his mom and their family made a little bit more money than I would say that my mom made. So there were certain things that he was able to get growing up that I didn't necessarily have, and that's fine. Two parents versus one, two income versus one, that's going to happen. One time we're joning on each other, and if you're from DC, that's the word you use. We were joning on each other, and he made a comment about the shoes I was wearing. I was wearing some white and green shoes, and they were called Winners. True story. They were called Winners. And he made a comment about the Winners, and that stuck with me. And we're talking about 20 plus years. That stuck with me. So every time I think about I can't do something and I'm not good enough, I think back to what my mom sacrificed for us. And while I didn't have the things that I wanted or thought I should have, I always had what I needed. So in this particular situation, me getting ready to go in here and get my ass handed to me, this thing is very cardio intensive, and we're gonna find out if I really want it. How badly do I really want it? My motivation is to think about what would my mom have done had she not had 2 kids that she raised alone, and what would she have done if she could have chased her dreams? So I owe it to her. I owe it to my grandmother. I owe it to my family members to go chase my dreams because my mom sacrificed for me. That's just a true story. That's how I feel about it. So there will be no quitting. I will throw up a million times. I'll probably throw up here soon. They're probably going to make me throw up here soon, but there is no quit. Just short of some sort of neck or spinal injury, I'm in this. Another inspiration of mine is my sister. And my sister's about 4.5 years younger than me. And growing up, I always wondered why it seemed as though my sister had more opportunities than I did, right? I always wondered that. Why is that? Now that I'm grown and I have my own 2 kids, I understand. My kids are about 9 years apart. And there are just things that I can do now for my daughter that I could not do when I was 20-something. I'm just in a different place. So I think about that and I say, my mom, a 4-year difference, my mom was clearly somewhere different for me than she was for her. And that's why my sister was able to do certain things. No hate, no shade. It's just the way it is. My sister has taken her opportunities and she has ran with them. My sister is beautiful. She's smart. She's intelligent. She's ambitious. She has a good heart. And I want the absolute best for her. I love my sister to death, and I want the absolute best for her. And I want her to be happy. Most importantly, I want her to be happy. But secondly, I want her to live out every goal. I want her to live out every dream that she could possibly have. I want her to help as many people as she possibly can. I want her to do everything that it is that she wants to do in her life. But she, to me, is an inspiration because she packed it up. Now, I joined the military. I had no choice but to pack it up. But she packed it up. She moved to LA. Could you imagine graduating from college, not really with a path? You got an idea. You kind of know what you want to do, but you don't really have a fortified, concrete plan. And you say, you know what? I'm going for it anyway. I'm going for it anyway. I respect that. And that's what I love about her. That's the stock that me and my sister are made of. That's what my mom raised us to be. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm going for this. Because this is what she raised us to be. She raised us to go get it, to go for it. So if I can say anything to my followers, and eventually at some point in time in life, hopefully there'll be more. If I say anything to you, whatever dream you have, whatever goal you have, go for it. Don't let anything stop you. I think one of my biggest problems is the fact that I have a job. I got one of them good government jobs, you know what I mean? And I think because I have this job, I always felt like, well, and if it don't work out, I still got a job. It's been a crutch. It has hindered me in my future to be what it is that I want to be. The person I idolize the most, and there's a difference between idolizing and somebody that you want to be like. I idolize The Rock. I do not want to be like The Rock. I would just love to have his career. The person I want to be most like is my uncle who passed away in 2003. That is the man I would want to be. And I believe that if he were alive, he would tell me that I need to go for my dreams. I need to go for it. My grandmother, she would be the third person that has inspired me. She may be the strongest person I have ever known. The things that she has done, the things that she has seen in her lifetime, and she was born in the 40s. So she was a child and a teenager and in her 20s during the civil rights era, during desegregation. She grew up in Orange, Virginia. Do your history. Do your homework on Orange, Virginia. She is the strongest person I know. The amount of tribulation, the amount of disheartening situations that has happened to her, and yet she keeps on moving forward. I don't use the term matriarch often because there are other people in my family that could be considered a matriarch, but my grandmother is the matriarch, period. She is a person that I would turn to for advice and ask, because the advice will always come from a loving place. It also comes from a common sense place, because we're both Capricorns. So we make sense of things, but it's always coming from a loving place. My fourth person is my cousin. And she's my oldest cousin. She is my uncle's oldest daughter. And I think we're separated by about 4 months, give or take. I don't use this term lightly, but when I say that I feel like somebody's going to take over the world, my cousin is the person I think of. You think you're ambitious? I'll show you somebody who's ambitious. And if she doesn't do it, her kids will do it. That's just the way she's built. She is always on the grind. I'm not even gonna call it a hustle. She's just always on the grind to provide a certain type of lifestyle for not only her family, but for herself. Ambitious. And again, when I say I owe it to my family, this is the reason why. These are the people I'm surrounded by. I have a great uncle who was a Tuskegee Airman. These are the people I'm surrounded by. This is why I'm telling you, you have a dream, you have a goal, go for it. Waste no more time. Don't wait for it. Put everything out to the side. Go for it. And if you fail, and you will, I'm not going to be good at this to begin with. I can tell you that right now. I have a lot to learn about what it takes to entertain a crowd. I have a lot to learn, but I'm here for it. And I can't wait to learn, but I'm going for it. You see me in the gym. I'm in the gym 6 days a week, soon to be 5, but 6 days a week, because there's a certain part of me that wants to see what my physique can look like if I dedicate my life to it. If I dedicate my nutrition, if I dedicate my time to actually doing it. That's just something I want to get off my heart. I want to tell you how grateful I am to be in a position that I am in, that I'm in, to be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by, to have the opportunities that I have. I'm just grateful. And I wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully everything else, you guys are having a good week. And I'll see you soon. 'Cause I'm back in my zone now.